So before there was 1,001 Marvel movies, there was this game called Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And that is one of my all-time favorite Xbox 360 games. And so today I wanted to talk about, since Marvel Midnight Suns is recently released, kind of how we got from Ultimate Alliance to Midnight Suns. So first things first, I want to talk about the intro to Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I think that is probably one of the best intros to any game, and even moreover, as old as it is, and how good it is, even for back in, when was that game released? Let's look. Not even sure.
What the hell is going on? Where's our air support? Get those forward guns going. Why aren't those rear batteries firing? Somebody get General Wilson on the horn.
Colonel Fury,
Doom, I'll have your head for this.
I have little time for your petty threats, Colonel. Surrender your ship now, or I shall destroy it.
Not on my watch.
This is a priority alert to all metahumans. UNN Alpha requests immediate assistance.
Thor, take care of those gunships. Spider-Man, draw them towards the stern.
Sure thing. I just love being a target.
Wolverine, you go.
Stoic Boy Scout. I don't take orders from you. Soulless machine! How dare you strike the son of Odin! Show off. Excuse me, is this the ferry to Staten Island? Uh-oh. Hey, Cap, looks like you... could use some help. That dude scares me. What are you girls looking at?
2006. So even thinking of this intro from a game from 2006, I mean, this is before Samuel Jackson was Nick Fury. And if you haven't heard that story, I think it's online, but Marvel was like selling their furniture and everything in order to survive. And at some point, somebody started drawing Nick Fury as Samuel Jackson. And then I guess later on, he caught wind of it. And he was like, cool, as long as you keep me as the character. So that's actually how that whole thing spurred into fruition and all that. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the game. And I've recently gone back and played it just to see what it was like. And I can tell you, I mean, it is a little dated, I will admit. 2006, it's now 2023. So it is a little dated, but it still holds a lot of the fun pieces, and there's a ton of different heroes to pick from. There's all these combinations that you can put together. You can put teams together. Certain teams get bonuses. So if you put all the Fantastic Four in, you get a Fantastic Four bonus. If you put all X-Men in, you get an X-Men bonus. You can also build like the Uncanny team, and there's all these teams you can get extra little bonuses. Each character gets 4 suits, and then each suit has different attributes that can be built up upon. And then also you have each character, like say Captain America, you can build up on your shield mastery, you can build up on other factors and features and all that stuff. And it's the same when it comes to Spider-Man, the same when it comes to the Electric, same when it comes to, Sabretooth, Hulk, whoever you want to pick. And that's also one of the reasons why I buy certain games, because there was a little while where I bought Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and then I went ahead and purchased the DLC off of the Microsoft Store. And then at some point, the DLC was gone. And I found out later it was because they lost the rights to have certain DLC, so that all disappeared. And so if you didn't have the Marvel Ultimate Alliance Gold Edition, you didn't get the DLC on the disc. You had to have it through a download. And if you happen to be like me, I got the Red Ring of Death on one of my Xboxes, then that hard drive was gone too. And I was like, oh, what do I do now? And so we had to find a way to get that data off of that old hard drive, which is that whole top of your old Xbox, into the newer design of the newer Xbox. And I think we ended up using like memory cards and USB. It was a whole ordeal. It was quite an ordeal. But that's kind of why I keep certain discs. Then we moved on to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. And this one I didn't like as much, I will admit. I thought it was kind of like, if the first one is like an A- game, this one was definitely like a B- game. It did kind of pull in all of this stuff like for the Civil War concept, and I thought they did a good job with that.
That hurt.
But it worked. No pain, no gain, my boy.
I ain't your boy, Stark.
All right, that should do it. Won't be any Latverian air support bothering us on our way to Castle Doom now. We'll take it on foot and bring in Bravo team once we hit checkpoint 3.
On foot. You're kidding, right? Do you have any idea how little arch support I get in this outfit?
Put a socket in, webhead.
I'll stop thinking for a second.
All right, ladies, let's move.
And I also like the fact that you could do the team ups for the powers. I thought that was pretty cool. And minus that, it was just, they tried to go more 3D with the graphics. I don't think it really, for me, it didn't really work. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great. And then there was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. And Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I got a Nintendo Switch just for that game because I liked the first two so much. And I was like, I really want to see this out. And it was kind of like, it just wasn't my thing. And I ended up returning the Switch and selling the game to GameStop at a loss. But it was just like, it wasn't for me. I played it all the way till I got stuck on Kingpin, I think. And it just wasn't the way I remembered it. The nostalgia wasn't there. That takes us to the Marvel Avengers game.
Avengers.
Oh, sorry I'm late.
What the?
Let's try this again.
Again, that was supposed to be the big team up game where it kind of, for me, it was going to be the rebirth of Ultimate Alliance and we could do all this stuff. And it's more of a first person. It just really wasn't the game I wanted to play. It wasn't, again, it was good, but it wasn't great. And I didn't really follow all the stuff online. I know there's a whole bunch of issues with the loot boxes and this and that. And I don't do a lot of online gaming, so that didn't bother me. It was just, again, it wasn't what I was hoping for. I felt the Kamala Khan character, they kind of pushed on us. They didn't let us like kind of choose a path or pick our team. They're like, you're going to use this person, and she was the guide that you're walking through the whole game with. Kind of like in this new Midnight Suns, you have the character Hunter, and Hunter is the crutch that holds everything together. They're the person they're trying to have you use. So that takes us to Marvel Midnight Suns.
You know how much I hate this hocus pocus nonsense, Faustus. Now you want to tell me just what the hell is so important?
Sleeping Mother, sacred harbinger, awaken and reclaim what is yours. You who rise with the moon in darkness, who prepares the path for the midnight sun. Turn your merciless eyes upon us and arise!
Nice show, Doc. Next time, call Seymour. Better yet, I'll just shoot you and save us all the trouble.
I got about 50 hours in the game now. I think as of yesterday I hit 50 hours, so this is more like double of what I had before I made my first review, or my initial impressions, I guess. And I kind of feel the same. I think the combat stuff is pretty good. It definitely is what they were calling a slow burn. I know several other YouTubers said it's a slow burn, and I will say I agree. Like, when you kind of get into it, it is a lot of fun. It's hard to put down. Again, the Abby stuff and the walking around and making friends and having to have all these conversations, it's just not for me. And I actually just kind of hit the button as fast as I can to get the dialogue to go. And I haven't read all the stuff, so it's partially probably my fault, as I'm not following the whole idea behind what the programmers and developers wanted. But it wasn't the type of game I wanted either. I wasn't looking for an RPG element. I was looking for a tactical, turn-based strategy game. You know, however you want to word that. But that's kind of what I was thinking about. Ultimate Alliance is kind of like a dungeon crawler hack and slash. Of course, Ultimate Alliance 2 is a little bit more of the same. They got a little bit better, you know, powers and stuff. But again, you're just kind of mashing A or the B button and you're killing all these bad guys. This one is these cards, and the cards have grown on me. I will admit, like, hey, sometimes it's kind of cool, but then other times I still say, like, Gears Tactics, I can kind of build a strategy with a team. I can say, okay, we're going to go in for this type of mission, so I'm going to bring these characters, and we're gonna run and gun. And in this game, I can kind of do that, and maybe when I get more hours into it, I'll be able to do more of that. But if the wrong cards don't come out, then you're just kind of stuck. And so I ran a couple missions yesterday, and I needed one of my heal cards to come up for the hunter, and it just never happened. Every time I would say, okay, hey, you know, redraw. Every turn, I never got a heal card. So I had people dropping, like they were getting knocked out, and then of course you can't get 2 or 3 stars once you have somebody knocked out. And that part, like I said, kind of annoyed me. Whereas in Gears Tactics, I can take, I keep Gabe, the main character, with his stim grenades and everything. So I always have somebody on the field that can do healing. And that's the thing I do with him, is if I notice, like, hey, this person's getting low, I can help them out. Now, granted, I have to wait so many more turns before I can do that again. But again, at least I know I can do that. And That's not the case with Midnight Suns. If you don't get the right cards, or you discard a card because you didn't need it at the time, but then it's like, oh crap, now I need it, you're just out of luck. It might come around, it might not come around. I also feel within the Midnight Suns, it's not really balanced per se. Like when a mission says it's going to be hard versus a mission says it's going to be normal or easy, I don't feel that's the case. Some of the hard missions I'm able to just clear the board pretty quick, and then missions that are supposed to be easy or normal, I ended up having to play it through a couple times because for whatever reason I just couldn't complete them on the initial run, and I just find that a little bit odd. So should you play Ultimate Alliance in 2022? That's up to you. I think if you want a fun Marvel game and maybe you're not into that turn-based, that card, whatever you want to call it, card style, it's a lot of fun, and it's got a really decent campaign that kind of covers a lot of characters, and then there's tons of little hidden gems. So if you pick up all the Daredevil dolls, or if you pick up all the Asgardian shards, and you can pick all these different things, but all of those leads you to where you can play like the Captain America like origin story, or at least an earlier mission where he's fighting Winter Soldier, or you can play the Hulk mission, or you can play the Black Widow mission. You can play all these different missions, and it kind of gives you more of the lore of Marvel that I didn't really have until, all the movies started popping up, and then you started kind of following a little bit more. But they have, characters you might not even think about following. And this is back in the day when like the only Marvel movie was Blade and I think Fantastic Four. So I would say for sure give it a shot. I have it. I'm not sure if it's on Game Pass or if it's because I already had it and it just came over. But I have it on my Xbox already. I have 1 and 2 on there, and then I also have, of course, the Avengers game, and then I do have the new Midnight Suns on PC. Personally, I think I like the probably number 2, the Civil War type style game, over the Midnight Suns game, and that's only because the strategies and stuff and the characters I can put together, I kind of know better than the Midnight Suns. But the Midnight Suns, of course, has got updated graphics. It's got all the new stuff, the better sound, the better images, the better maybe probably even story. But that Civil War story is not bad, especially if you followed the Civil War comic, and then if you watch the Civil War movie with Captain America: Civil War. It kind of takes that realm where you get the divide between one side and the other side, and then you have the heroes fighting against each other. It does that pretty well, I think, after reading the comic and then also seeing the movie. I think it kind of walks in between both of those. And so I think the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 is a little bit better, a little bit. Like I mean we're talking a little bit better than the Midnight Suns. I think Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 is better than number 2, but I can also see the age in it now. Like, as I played it, like I said, this week alone, I was like, all right, this is it's not as good as Midnight Suns when it comes to that, because I think the combat in Midnight Suns is much more dynamic and much more immersive, I guess you would say. But the Abby stuff is still not my favorite thing. I would say if I could skip it, I would. Making all the friendships. I was telling a friend of mine about the whole thing, and she was like, so it's Marvel meets Care Bears. You have to make everybody like you, and we all got to be friends for this to go the distance. And of course, that's not going to be the same in the earlier 2 games. Ultimate Alliance 3, that's on you. If you want to get a Switch, or if you have a Switch, it might be a fun game. Again, I just really didn't find it all that enjoyable. And as for the Avengers game, I personally haven't finished it yet. So I think I'm on like mission 6 or something. I know I'm with Tony Stark flying through one of the levels, and I keep crashing and not making it out in time. Take that one for what you will. Again, that one's got a little bit better graphics even than, I think maybe even better than Midnight Suns. It's got some pretty cool graphics. I know you can get a whole lot of suits and stuff. The problem is it turns into just buying a whole bunch of junk, and I don't really care for that. You guys know what to do. You like the video, hit that like button. If you've played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, Ultimate Alliance 3, Avengers, or Midnight Suns, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd be curious to hear what you guys say. Which one's your favorite? What's your favorite Marvel game out of all that? Cool? Awesome. We'll see you guys later.